Welcome back, everybody. Today is Operation Slam the Celica. We're gonna try again. We've been hitting a lot of dead ends lately, so we're hoping for some success today. We have coilovers that are not meant for the Celica. We have the fronts coming from an AE92 and the rears coming from an AE86. So it's gonna be a lot of modification to get these things in there. Justin's gonna be over at the bench trying to get the AE92 coilovers ready. And I'm gonna be over here trying to get all of this off so that he can put the two together and we can figure something out. So I'm gonna put you guys up on a time lapse and get that done.
What is up, everybody? Back at it again, Celica build. While Jam is over there removing the stock suspension from the Celica, I'm gonna be over here working on these AE92 coilovers that we picked up for 60 bucks. A hell of a deal. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is I've already PB blasted this and got these broken free, which is awesome because I've had these things so frozen that they wouldn't come off no matter what I did. So that's cool. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is stripping all of this off of this bottom strut tube. I'll be cutting the brackets off of these bottom strut tubes and prepping these bottom strut tubes to be able to weld these to the stock spindles in the Celica. We have these AE86 camber plates that we got off eBay, and they're actually pretty decent quality. These are actually going to go on the Celica, and there's just this one stud right here is just a little bit off, so we're gonna have to wallow out the holes a tiny bit, but it should be fine. So these are gonna go on top of this, and then these strut tubes are gonna be welded to the stock OEM Celica spindle, and our budget coilovers should be done today. Fingers crossed. I hope it works out. If it doesn't, 60 bucks, whatever, we'll figure something else out. But anyways, stay tuned, guys.
Okay, so I was able to get all the stock components out of the car. We used a spring compressor here, got the old springs off. So this is all ready to go over and be modified by Justin, and I'm gonna go over and start to do the exact same thing on the other side.
All right, well, Jam's over there warming her butt. She got this side off and she's gonna be working on the other side, but I can't get to this side until I do this coilover. But right now I got most of this done. All of these brackets right here are knocked off. And I don't know if I'm gonna knock this square off or if I'm gonna leave it because it's kind of a pain in the ass. It doesn't really get in the way. I'm also gonna cut this bracket off and flip it to the side so it's in the same orientation as the stock Celica one. So this is basically ready to go. I'm gonna do that side, and then once she has that other spindle off, we'll start modifying the stock stuff to accept the aftermarket stuff. I got both of these done. Now I'm gonna move on to taking this strut out. So I gotta get this little strut cap bolt off and then take the strut out of the strut casing, and then I'm gonna assess where we're gonna cut it and how we're gonna weld this onto there. Jam's over there using every single bit of her strength to try to get off some of these rusty ass bolts. How's it going?
Oh, you know, just throwing all of my body weight into getting this brake line off.
Hell yeah. Well, good luck. Anyways, that's what we're gonna do. We'll time lapse you. Peace. All right, that was a total pain in the ass. I've never removed a strut from the inside of a strut casing like this. That strut nut, or whatever you would call it, the locking nut, It's basically a pain in the ass and it did not want to come out at all, but I ended up getting it out, and then this didn't want to slide out of there because I bent in the strut casing when I was hammering on it. So I ended up getting that out by putting this top hat back on and just slamming it with the hammer. I got a really bad time lapse of it because I wasn't expecting to get down on the floor like I did. But anyways, it's out, oil everywhere. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut up this a little bit and then start mocking up the aftermarket strut tube and see how well it fits and what kind of modifications I need to do. All right, so I have this all cut off. What I'm gonna do now is take the coilover strut tube and I'm gonna fit it over this and see how close to the diameter of the OEM strut tube it is. Let's see. Okay, so it's a little bit loose on there, which is not ideal because I could weld it straight to this, but this is cast and this is steel and they're dissimilar metals, and it's kind of hard to weld the cast and actually have it be structurally sound. So what I'm gonna do probably is I'm gonna cut slits all the way around this and kind of hammer it in until it gets close to the diameter of this, so I can weld the strut tube to this steel stock strut tube, so it's steel to steel and it's gonna be as strong as it possibly could be. So I'll probably cut this down to about, I don't know, a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch, cut slits in this, and then hammer them in, and we're gonna try to make this fit, so let's get it. All right, so I have this cleaned up and cut down. It's looking really nice. Cut the perfect amount of slits in this and hammered it down, and this thing slides over this so snug that I can't show you because I need 2 hands to do it, but I'm gonna show you right now. All right, here it is. It is super snug, and it's gonna be about right here. I'm gonna bead weld it all the way around, and then I'm gonna weld up each individual slit that I cut, and it should be good to go, and we can start working on the other side. So this, I'm in the middle of painting this right now. It's all welded up and ready to go. We're using this badass wheelbarrow paint. This stuff is so crazy. It stops rust, but it's also so resistant that I actually painted a skateboard with this. I've been skating it for 3 months, doing all kinds of grinds and slides, and this stuff will not come off. Like normal skateboards, you could see all the marks. This just doesn't smear at all. It's insane. I put it to the test and it works. If you guys have an Ace near you, definitely pick this up. It's great. So yeah, I'm gonna finish painting this. We're gonna put this on there and install it in the car, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out the way we hope that it does. All right, the next thing we need to do before we move on, because what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be putting together one coilover and then installing it before we actually weld the other one together. In case there's something wrong or we did something wrong, we don't have to dismantle and cut 2 of them. So right now, basically the 8/6 one comes up short right here and right here. So I'm gonna drill 2 holes right ahead of these holes. So the 8/6 camber plate should come right through here. So let's get after it. All right, that was a total pain in the ass because the drill kept dying and all of our drill bits really suck, but this fits. It's kind of snug, but fits right in there, and the camber plate works just fine. All right, there it is. Look at it. It looks amazing. It reminds me of like a coilover you'd see in the old days back when you had to build your own coilovers and you couldn't just buy ones. You stoked?
Yeah, let's see how low this thing goes.
Hell yeah. Well, I measured this compared to my 8/6 suspension over there, the BC's, and this is about the same ride height as mine was, and my car was pretty low. So we're gonna put this on as soon as this dries up, and then hopefully everything fits up. But yeah, this looks amazing. So if anybody wants to build their own coilovers for a Celica or an 8/6, you could buy $300 or use $60 AE92 coilovers, and you can make them fit as long as you do exactly what I did.
Many hours later.
All right, the second one is done. It's looking great. Everything turned out great, and now we're going to install it, and then we're gonna check the ride height and see what it is. We put these all the way down as far as they can, and we removed a ring. So we're gonna see what happens.
See how low we can go.
Hopefully we can go really low.
Yes.
All right, the coilover is on. It's bolted on there. It's looking good, looking great. It's all on there. Now we're gonna put the wheel on.
Let's test it out, see exactly how low this is gonna be with these on there.
Yeah, and there'll be a slight amount of coilover sag, but not much. So it'll probably be like maybe a 1/4 inch lower than whatever it is. All right. Then after we put this on, we're going to put a jack under the control arm and kind of push it up and see what it looks like with the weight of the car on it. But that's way freaking lower than it was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to camber a little bit, I think, just because we're gonna rub hardcore if we don't.
Yes.
It looks like that's it.
That's it. That's not too bad. Not too bad. That's perfect right there. For these wheels, perfect.
I can't wait to see it on the ground now.
Oh yeah, look at that, guys. And there you go. AE92, AE86, Celica coilover Frankenstein. Dope. Now we gotta do the other one.
Oh, yay.
All right, it is time. It is installed. It's looking amazing. And now we're gonna put the wheel on.
Yep, we're gonna see how low it actually
It looks like
is.
it's gonna be unbelievably low.
Oh, God.
It looks like it's gonna be lower on this side.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so now we're jacking up on the control arm so we can actually see where it's gonna sit when it is sitting under the weight of the car.
There we go. All right, ready?
Yep. The camber plates are loose.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's it. The preload. There's no sag at all.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to roll that or I'm gonna fuck the fender if I
Yeah,
can't
and
pull it.
camber it in because it's cambered all the way out. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna have to roll it a little bit, but
Yeah.
or you can buy some flares and we can cut up this brand new paint job and body. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
I gotta get better wheels, that's what I gotta do. Once I don't have these delightful rash all around.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
not me, you guys. If you see me rolling around, I didn't do that. All right, everybody, that's a wrap for today's Celica Frankenstein coilover video. Thank you for sticking around and watching. As always, hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and tune in again next time.